Yesterday, President Trump has said that he's going to pull out of the International Postal Agreement, which has been around for, I think, 142 years, I think it is, because China's getting too fair a deal, too good a deal, because they're considered a developing country. So tell us about this, and particularly what companies are affected by it.
Sure, and so this is just fascinating to me. So there's a governing body in Switzerland, based in Switzerland, known as the Universal Postal Union. As you said, this was established 144 years ago, and the basic idea is to make international mail flow more efficiently and cost effectively. And so this body sets the rates at which countries reimburse each other. So if I mail you a package from France, and then the U.S. collects the postage and then reimburses France for its share of the work. And so those rates favor developing countries like China as a means to stabilize their postal system. But what the U.S. is saying is that this is not exactly a fair system for the economy that we live in today. China is no longer really a developing country, and they've also taken an outsized advantage of this loophole to capitalize on the boom in e-commerce. So this is one act that I really think is probably pretty logical in a trade war that has otherwise been characterized by a number of probably illogical moves. Now, in terms of companies that might be affected, big winners here are Amazon, eBay, these sellers that, they do take in a lot of revenue from Chinese third-party sellers, but they've said they would prefer to have a more balanced pricing system because that benefits everybody in general. Then you're also going to want to look at FedEx, UPS.
So this is the U.S. Postal Service, it's not FedEx.
Yes, so FedEx and UPS are not governed under these same rules. And so for them, if you have sort of an increase in international postal rates, that improves their pricing power. Because FedEx and UPS are somewhat limited in terms of how much they can charge, depending on what the Postal Service is. So this may swing some business more FedEx and UPS's way and improve their pricing power.
So not so good for example, Alibaba.
No,
they're shipping stuff
not
over
so
here.
good for Alibaba.
But at the same time, yesterday, I think some of the retail stocks got hit, didn't they, on this news? Because they thought that might squeeze margins, things might be more expensive to ship in?
Yes, so that's the concern. I mean, on the one hand, this should help retailers because it makes their goods more competitive, because part of the issue is, if you have a Chinese product that's A, cheaper to make, and then it's B, cheaper to ship, then that tends to shift the customer more towards that product than something created domestically, which costs a lot more to send to the customer. But on the flip side, these exporters could be affected if you get rid of this system entirely. There's certain standards in place that could push up postal rates for U.S. companies to ship to Europe.